It's been a while since I've updated you guys on my Ironman Exosuit project, so today I'm going to show you what I've been working on over these past couple of weeks, as well as some of the stuff that's still in the works but is going to be done pretty soon. Real quick before I begin, if you haven't watched the video on my Ironman electrolysis reactor or the exoskeleton and working repulsor, I recommend you go watch those first. The link will be in the description. In the first video of this project, I built an Ironman exoskeleton arm. But I rushed the process and I didn't put much consideration into the elbow joint, which quickly became a big problem. A human elbow joint is designed to move in two directions, up and down. And for an exoskeleton, we preferably want the same thing. However, the spring joint I used on my exoskeleton could move in any direction. This made the joint incredibly weak and will basically make it impossible to build a muscle system onto my exoskeleton in the future. I mean, just imagine what your muscles would look like if your elbow could move in any direction. So I'm instead gonna go about building my own elbow joint that I can tailor to the suit from some ball bearings I found at a hardware store. I first just need to weld some mounts for them to screw onto the exoskeleton. I started by getting all the measurements of my elbow and wrote down a basic schematic on some cardboard, which I'll then cut out and transpose to some metal. Now the fun part, sawing and welding. And finally, after some horrendous welding work, the new elbow joints are done. And I'm honestly pretty happy with these things. They move really smooth and are incredibly strong. And all that's left to do now is bolt the new elbow joints to the exoskeleton. Alright, finally bolted in the elbow joint, and this thing looks so much cleaner and stronger than the first spring joint did. It was a much needed upgrade. Now I want to make a quick point now that I have a real elbow on this thing. It's going to be much easier to build an artificial muscle system onto this thing because it only has 2 degrees that it can move in, up and down, just like a real human elbow joint. But put that aside for now. I still have to put this thing on and see how it fits on my arm and how I can move in this thing. I was honestly very surprised how well this new elbow joint worked when I tried it on. Not only is it incredibly strong, but it's very comfortable and very smooth. And also feels very cool to wear. Another neat thing about this new elbow joint is it'll be much easier to bolt external armor plating to it, as well as run tubing and electrical wires along the sides without them getting tangled. Now, aside from the new elbow, I've also been working on a new repulsor system. The previous one just wasn't as powerful as I wanted it to be, and a lot of power was being left on the table. So I'm designing a new system which will hopefully utilize the pressure much better than it did in the last. So stick around for that. It'll hopefully be done soon.